Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is something super cute. I'm really excited for it. So today we're reviewing the Lush Life collection from Colourpop. Now, this is like the most exciting Colourpop launch for me in a little bit. They released so much stuff, but it's hard for me to say one like really caught my eye and I need it, but I really needed this palette. So this is the Lush Life palette, which is the star of the collection. I mean, obviously we're all in love with eyeshadow palettes, it seems like. We have this really cute color scheme here where it's greens, it has reds, blues, oranges, and a little bit of yellow tones, and like a slight neutral tone too. This just really intrigued me and inspired me, so I like had to review it for you guys. Also, I'm testing out one of the cheek dews today. It's already on my face. I don't know if we can tell I'm extra blushy today. This is the shade Starfruit. It's very dark compared to what like the picture looked like. It's kind of a peachy orangey, and then it's like super dark. So I love their cheek dews. I had to try one of those out. And then also for today's video, we're going to be testing out one of the eyeliners. So I picked two of the eyeliners up here. I'm going to swatch them, see which one I think is going to like look the best on my eyes and stuff. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, before we get started, if you're not subscribed to my channel already, I greatly appreciate if you did that. And if you haven't shopped my brand, theopencrypt.com, at theopencrypt on Instagram, we have a whole bunch of new stuff out that I think you guys would really enjoy and I'm super proud of. But anyways, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes now. For primer today, I'm taking the Drawer Cosmetics Clean Canvas Base in Fair, and I'm just going to tap it all over my eyelid space before we get started. I know usually when I do a colorful palette, or like a palette that like a lot of people do the same similar look with, I tend to do something different. So if it's a palette with like a pop of 2 blue shades, everyone else reviews the blue shades, I review the rest of them. But I have to use the greens in today's look. I have to bring myself to do it. Like, I know everyone else is going to review the greens too, but I just really want to test the greens. So because I know this eye look is not going to be too complex or anything, I chose 2 small brushes today. These are from Real Techniques. I have like a little smudgy one and a regular small blender brush. So while my eyelid primer is getting tacky, let's go ahead and get started. Now what I really wish was in this palette though, even though I love the color scheme, is a green matte. Like we have this blue-green matte, but it more matches the blue shades than the green. Like there's only one real green in here, even though the palette is like neon and stuff. So that's what really just like could be a little better improved in my opinion. I'm going to start off with this Eco shade right here, which is like kind of a cream. I'm going to tap into here, tap off for excess, and I'm going to just like tuck it in the first half of our crease. I'm going to do more of a lighter to darker look, I guess. I'm just tapping this right here. I'm going to put it like underneath my brow bone. I just don't want the inner part of my crease to be like too dark and intense. So we're just going to start off light, do darker on the outer portion. I'm now going into the Eden shade, which is this kind of brown tone in here. And I'm just going to put this, tap off my excess, put this in the middle of the crease. Just slightly. Like, I'm not going to, like, pack this on and make it super intense. Honestly, though, it is not exactly the same shade as it looks in the pan. It's a little more cool tone on the eyes than it looks in the pan. It looks a little more warm in the pan. But I'm just putting this in the middle. I don't really know if this is wanting to blend out. Like, I know I'm only taking a little bit, tapping off my excess and kind of tapping it on here. But just from how it kind of sat where I put it, I don't know if this is going to blend that well. Yeah, this shade really does not want to move on me. So this is not off to a great start so far. I feel like the shimmers are going to save it because we're going to do shimmers everywhere. But this does not really want to move. No, I don't like this shade at all. I really just don't like it. Moving on now, I'm going to go into this blue-green on the Prowl shade, which I've had a couple issues with Colourpop's blue-greens before, specifically in the Raw Beauty Christie palette that I did not like and everyone else loved. But I'm just going to put this in the outer half and also blend it into that brown because I don't feel like the brown blended very well. So I'm going to kind of put this on the outer portion and into the middle. Color's actually a lot more blue than I expected. Like on camera, I feel like it looks a little green, but in person it looks real blue. Okay, so here's my crease going on right now. I don't live for it. I think the brown just really threw me off because it was not what I wanted. It looked a little more warm on the pan than I thought, I guess. I don't know. It just is. It's not my favorite, but the outer crease green color or blue. I wish it was green. Whatever. Looks really nice. So I'm going to take my finger now. I'm going to take my pinky into 2 of these shimmers. So for the shimmers, I'm going to go into It's Paradise, which is the kind of gold shade in here because you know I had to use anything that's slightly yellow for the first half. And then of course, because I said I'm going to do a green look, I'm going to use the Palm Lime Green for the outer half. So let's just see what it looks like on my finger. Very pretty, very vibrant in gold. And since we have eyelid primer on, this should just stick perfectly. It looks pretty good. It's not the most intense blinding thing in the world, but it kind of matches the vibe. Going into Palm Palm now. It's a lime green. And I'm going to put this all over the place. I just love bright green eyeshadow. I think it just looks so fun. I'm definitely going to have to do more looks with this palette. Just because for the review, I had to use the green. Like, I had to use it. I needed it in my life. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like green needs more of a moment. People don't use the green eyeshadow as much as they should. They more so focus on blues and neutrals. And whereas I love neutrals, I think greens are better than blues. Even though people love when I wear blue eyeshadow. Like, I get tons of compliments on it. So I appreciate that. Now, for the lower lash, I'm going to take the little shadery brush we have here. I'm going to change it up a little bit and go in, well, I don't want to make it too weird. Let's go into Guava, which is this kind of red shade. I don't want to go to a more intense red. I even think this is probably going to look weird. But, you know, got to test a bunch of shades for the review. So let's go ahead and shade the lower lash line with this. This gives me very tropically vibes, so I totally get the theming. Because even though I'm using a ton of different colors in here, it still looks tropical. I feel like sometimes when you have a themed palette, there's only like 2 shades that fit the theme. And the rest are just kind of random. For this one, I really see the whole color scheme that I really wanted in this. Like, that's one of the reasons it kind of called to me as like a palette. I was like, ooh, this will be stunning in my collection. Is because you can use any combination of these eyeshadows and still get that same tropical vibe. I hope that makes sense. Like, you know, there's like a pop of color, pop of something that makes it like that theme. But this circumstance, there's tons of shades that fit the theme. Okay, so my eyeshadow is done. It's not the most glamorous in the world, but I think it's going to look great after we add lashes. So it's time to pick the eyeliner for the look. I have Toucan Do It, which is a super cute name, and Aglow. So let's see what these liners look like. I'll swatch both of them. So we have more of a yellow marigold, which again does not match this kind of burnt green kind of color that I expected it to be. But this looks like a metallic. So, ooh, the tip fell off. No! Okay, the tip fell off of this one, but here is the marigold kind of color, the Toucan Do It, which is a great name. Very pretty, but very fragile because I already lost the tip of it. I lost the little tip of it, but that's okay. For the Aglow shade, this one looks like a pastel lime green according to the sticker, and in person it's more of a darker green. And this again looks like a metallic finish. It is. I have issues with a lot of metallics. So here is the green shade. I'm gonna go for the, let's go for the yellow gold just because we already have like the, I don't know. Actually, I'm just gonna use both. So I'll do this one, the green one, on the outer half of the waterline. If I can get it to stick. It's more so sticking to my lashes, not my actual waterline. But I'm gonna put this in the first half. And I'm gonna take the Toucan Do It in the first half. Okay, this one is definitely more pigmented than the green one. However, neither of them really want to stick. If you have a very wet waterline like me, or your eyes are sensitive, I wouldn't suggest they're metallic-y liners just because they never really want to set in here. So let's take a close-up look in my waterline here. It really just stuck where my lashes are, not really in the actual waterline itself. So not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm going to do mascara, lashes, lipstick, and I will be right back and I'll talk about what I think of the collection as a whole. And you can see the finished look, of course, because that's like the most important thing. Because this looks like crap, then I add lashes and you should be amazed, right? Alright guys, this is the finished look using the Lush Life collection from Colourpop. What do we think of this look? Here's the eye look up close with everything said and done. I think it's cute. I really wish the eyeliners were more bold and popped in the waterline. Again, I'm not really a fan of the brown shade we used, but mixed with other shades in the crease, it looks really nice. I do feel like the shimmers could be a little more poppin', just because I feel like the yellow specifically doesn't really like pop of like color, but I guess if you're trying to do something more neutral, it's definitely an option for you as far as like not the most poppin' yellow in the world, even though it could be. Let's start talking about what I think though. The cheek dew, these colors do not match what the box says they are at all, so that was kind of disappointing, but it still blended up really nicely. I really enjoy their formula, which is why I tried this one for today's video. I really like the formula of them. It just, the color does not match the box. Neither did the eyeliners. We're talking about it. The eyeliners, I really wish were not metallics. I know metallic liners and the waterlines sound fun and everything for people with sensitive or watery waterlines. watery waterlines. Sounds weird, but it is what it is. I just wish these were regular cream liners, not metallics. It's just harder to fit those in the waterline and make them stick, you know, especially long term. Like if I wore this all day, there's no way this would stay in my waterline. I would have like a mess and like a little bit of color in my lashes. So there's that. The palette, though, I think is really pretty overall. I think what I love the most about it is the whole thing says tropical, not just a couple colors like I said earlier. I just think it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I do wish there was a green matte in here. This blue-green Moments Mostly Blue does work. Like, I definitely made it work for this look. I just wish it was a little more on the green side. That's my only complaint. Overall, I think this palette is super pretty. If you have been thinking of picking it up, I definitely would. Like, it's definitely not a loss. And it's magnetically closed, which I really appreciate. I added the bow and arrow lip from KBD Beauty, some mascara, lashes from Baddie B, in case you're wondering what the rest of it is. But overall, that's it for today's video, guys. Very simple, very short and sweet, but I think it's a really pretty collection, but obviously not something that needs like a 20-minute video, I guess. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can check out my brand, theopencrypt.com, down below. And I hope you guys have a great and safe day wherever you are. Bye.